What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new video. I hope you're all doing good. In this video we're taking a look at some battles I did in the Kanto Cup with a triple Shadow team. This team consists of Shadow Venomoth in the lead. We're bringing it back, but this time we're running it with Confusion as the fast move to destroy those pesky Nidoqueens that are so common on the lead. That's a rank 207, and then we're going to have double Legacy Shadow Charizard on the swap, rank 51, and this will be getting shields out of nearly everything with the potential of that Blast Burn nuke, and we're also going to be running it with the Legacy Wing Attack as the fast move. And then finally, to round things out, we're going to have Shadow Omastar. Never used this before, the IVs aren't the best, it's a rank 1308, and this also has a legacy move of Rock Slide, and that hits so hard it's crazy. So this team's pretty damn glassy, and we're a little bit weak to Hypno, but we still had some fantastic battles, so let's jump into them. First battle, we have Alolan Sandslash. That's not particularly great for the Venomoth as they're resisting our move, so we will swap into that Charizard, and then we're going to build up to a potential Blast Burn and go for that Dragon Claw bait, expecting they will shield this up. And there's the first example of the horrendous lag that everyone is suffering at the minute. I'm sure you've been suffering it like I have. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Niantic is pretty much just a joke when it comes to GBL now, because they just, every time they say they're going to fix it, they actually break it even worse than it's been originally. So, I mean, beforehand, it wasn't actually that bad, and now it's even worse. So what are they even doing over there? Honestly, I don't understand it. So we managed to take both the shields with the Charizard against Pidgeot, and we come back in with our Omastar, and we're going to get off a Rock Slide before they get to a move, as it just takes quite a while to get up to any of the moves with that Gust fast move from the Pidgeot. So back comes in a Hypno, and we're just going to look to build up to a Hydro Pump. We do luckily still have one shield left, and we're going to be able to keep that Venomoth away from the Hypno, but we will be matched up still with that Sandslash, but that's a better matchup, I still think, because we're not taking that super effective confusion damage. So go for Hydro Pump, land some massive damage against the Hypno, they swap out and we swap into the Venomoth, and then we're just going to look to go for a Bug Buzz, because even though it is resisted, it's still going to do massive damage against Sandslash. It's pretty glassy, and this is just going to do a lot of damage. Bug Buzz is an OP move, so let's see how much it does. It does get them very low, and we get the defense drop, and then they throw their energy, so that's absolutely perfect. We're going to be able to come in now with the Omastar. Can we make it up to a move? Oh, we're hanging on with 1 HP, and we get to the Rock Slide to take out that Hypno that has barely any health left. The Omastar going off there at the end with that fast energy generating mud shot and those hard hitting moves, and from an awkward lead was able to pull it out of the bag. So into the next one we go. Slowbro on the lead, absolutely terrible for the Venomoth, as that confusion will be chunking. So we go into the Charizard and they're staying here, so that's quite interesting. We are going to go for technically a bait, because even a water type doesn't want to see Blast Burn, but they do shield it up, so that's fine with us. Now we're going to build up to the potential Blast Burn once again, go for another Dragon Claw, which is pretty pointless. We should have just gone for the Blast Burn at this point, but they do commit their second shield anyway, so that's fine with us. Now we're going to come in with the Omastar. Now we're going to shield this up just in case. Even a Walk Pulse is going to do a decent amount of damage to Omastar, as it is quite glassy, and we do just throw the Rock Slide as soon as we get to it, just to stop ourselves from having to use another shield. And they go down, so let's see what they want to bring in. They bring in a Snorlax, so this is actually fine with us. We've got to watch out for Superpower, but even a Body Slam at this range is going to do a lot to Omastar. So we shield up that Body Slam, and now we're just going to go for the Hydro Pump. A little bit worried they're going to swap, so we overfarm, but they don't swap out, and we managed to get it off against the Snorlax, which is going to do a lot of damage. It does KO the chunk, and then we come in with Venomoth, but they have a Marowak in the back, so that was a bad misplay there. We should have stayed in with the Omastar. We definitely would have been able to get up to a Rock Slide, and that would have pretty much KO'd the Marowak, I would have thought, with the Mud Shot damage as well. Now they're going to be able to farm us down, and they're probably going to be able to get to a Bone Club against the Omastar, which is super effective and will be taking us out. So a couple of misplays in that battle that definitely could have changed the course of how it went. So you live and you learn. Into the next one, we've got Pidgeot on the lead, which is absolutely terrible for the Venomoth, so we swap into Charizard. They will be able to gust us down if they commit both shields, but they do eventually swap into the Hypno, which is fine with us. So we're going to go for that Dragon Claw bait, see if they respect it, and they do commit a shield, so that's perfect for us. Now we're going to go straight for that Blast Burn. As soon as we get to it, we're nearly taken out by the confusion damage. Are they going to commit 2 shields? They let it go, and it completely takes out the big nose, and now we've won that swap. In comes Raticate, and we've got to bring in that Venomoth either way. Even though the confusions are going to be double resisted, it's just better to have this thing lined up with the Raticate, then the Pidgeot. So we let the Hyper Fang go through. It does loads of damage, but we get to the Bug Buzz, expecting they'll shield this up if they know what's good for them, but they let it go through, and it one-shots once again. Another Pokemon getting completely boomed out the game, and now we've got 2 shields against the Pidgeot, so you know that this is going to be a GG's. Even Feather Dance isn't going to matter, because a Rock Slide is going to do so much damage to the flying normal type. So we go for the first one, which is definitely going to get the shield out. Then we're going to go for the second one, and no doubt it's going to do a lot of damage. Probably won't KO, but we're still going to be able to get up to another move anyway. And as I said before, Gust just takes so long to charge. I think it's 5 Gusts for both the Feather Dance and the Brave Bird. So we're definitely going to outpace them, and we're going to take the win from another really bad lead. We see so many Pidgeot leads with the Venomoth. It was not particularly fun, but then we did see some Nidoqueen as well, which is what we were after. So we're going to the next one, and let's see what we've got this time round. It's actually a Raichu on the lead, so pretty neutral, and we're going to look to be doing that heavy damage with Confusion, but they're also eating into us with the Volt Switches, and they snuck through a Volt Switch there when we got the Poison Fang off, so that's terrible, but they let it go through, so you can see one more Confusion is going to take them out of the game, expecting that they're going to probably dip after this Wild Charge, which you do shield up, and it's a Marowak they bring in, so we are pretty quick on the swap, and we need to get the Omastar in so we can get some Rock Slides off against the Marowak. So they go for a Shadow Bone, which we let go through. It is going to take any 2 charge moves from the Marowak anyway, because Fire Spin is double resisted, so it's doing virtually no damage to the Water and Rock typing of the Omastar. We're going to commit another shield now, because we're definitely going to be able to get the last shield out of them, and potentially even get to another Rock Slide. But I'm not so sure about that if they know how to count. So we go for that Rock Slide and get the shield out of them, and they do know what's up, so they're going to take us out before we can get to another one and take out the Marowak. So we have potential to build up a lot of energy with the Charizard, but we've got to watch out for that Shadow Bone. So you know what we're going to do, make the swap into Venomoth on the 4 counts of the Fire Spin. They take out the Venomoth with the Shadow Bone, and then we've got that Charizard, which is already loaded, and they're still not swapping out, so we're able to farm them down the whole way, and they come in with a Primeape. So I have no idea why we didn't just go for the Blast Burn, but we're going for Dragon Claw. Oh, I think we was a bit worried about that Raichu having a move in the back, so this is actually good they made the swap, so we can take them out, because we did not want to get hit with a Wild Charge, and we still have another Dragon Claw stored to take out the Primeape. And that's going to be see you later to the Fighting Monkey, and GG's to my opponent in that one as we roll on into the next battle. So we've got Marowak on the lead for the Venomoth this time, which is also terrible. Fire Spins will be eating into us. We make a swap into Charizard. They come in with a Blastoise. So now we're going to go for all those Dragon Claws. They let the first one go through, of course, and now we're probably going to look to actually let the Charizard go down, considering they're throwing their energy. A lot of these matchups, they look to try and farm down the whole way, so instead we let the Charizard go down and come in with a Venomoth, build up some energy. We're going to be forced to use a shield if we want to farm down the whole way, so rather than that, we actually throw the Poison Fang 1 Confusion over, so we can save our shields, and then no doubt we're going to swap into the Omastar as soon as that Marowak comes back in. So we do swap into Omastar, and luckily in the back they have a Lapras, so we've got 2 things here that can get absolutely destroyed by the Omastar, so that's perfect. We're resisting that Ice Shard, so we're just going to look to build up as much energy as we can to go into the Marowak matchup. So going to be counting the 4 Ice Shards that it is for the Surf, and throw it on the 4th one, see if they want to commit another shield to the Lapras. So I imagine they'll probably let it go down. They do let it go, and you can see how much damage a Rock Slide does to Lapras. That was the Shadow form, so it was a little bit less bulky, but it still had a lot of HP to take out. Oh, and he fell over there. So we go for a Rock Slide against the Marowak. They commit the last shield, and then we've got another Rock Slide to take out the Ghost Bone, and it's just absolutely devastating, that Rock Slide on the Shadow Omastar. Does so much damage. So in comes Raticate on the lead for the Venomoth, which we're going to swap out of because the Confusions are double resisted by that Dark typing. So we're going to Charizard, and they throw a Crunch. So we're going to build up to a Blast Burn, and then we're hoping we can get a shield out of them with this Dragon Claw bait. And the Raticate is pretty tanky. They don't give up the shield, so that's a really good call by them. And now we're looking in a terrible spot because we're forced to use our second shield if we want to keep the Charizard alive, which we do because we've got so much energy. We can't farm down the Raticate, so we're just going to throw Dragon Claw and get rid of them. And they do just let it go down. So what do they want to bring in now that the Raticate's gone? They have that 2 shield advantage, and luckily it is something we can threaten with the neutral damage. So we're just going to go for a bait again. This time they do take it, which is great. We're going to be able to get up to the Blast Burn, and we're going to be able to get those 2 shields back. But unfortunately, they're going to be able to farm us down. They're going to be loaded with energy, and their move is going to do a lot of damage to either of the back 2 Pokemon. So we're coming with that Omastar, building up a little bit of energy, and then we're going to look to swap out, I think, once this is thrown, because another one's going to take us out. So we want to keep them health on both Pokemon, and they actually make a swap as well. So they come in with Beedrill. And we have, obviously, the Confusions on the Venomoth that are going to be taking this thing out. Do one more Confusion just after we debuff them. A Drill Run probably isn't going to take us out, but really, we could do with being taken out, and unfortunately, we've just given them the farm they're going to need to be able to take the win. We should have actually not thrown that last Confusion and let them take us out with the Drill Run, and then look to farm down with the Omastar so we could get a Rock Slide off, because now they were able to farm us down, and they throw the Dark Pulse and take the win. So that was well played by them, and pretty difficult one for us to maneuver out of, but we had that chance. Into the next one, Machamp on the lead, so that's absolutely brilliant for the Venomoth. They knew it, so they swapped out into Lapras, and now this is just hard counter time. We're going to go straight for the Rock Slide, and look how much damage that does to the Lapras. Completely takes it out. They come back in with the Machamp. Luckily, we are able to get up to a rock slide before they can get to a move, so this will be doing some nice damage, even though it's resisted. Look at that, over half, I think it was. So now we're looking in a decent spot. We're going to be able to get this thing out of here in a couple of confusions. They do go for a cross-chop bait, which isn't great, but it didn't matter. We had to commit that shield anyway. Now they come in with a Mew. They do have 2 shields, but we're going to be able to go for these Poison Fangs, which are going to lower the Mew's defense. And then we've got that Charizard in the back. They're going to be forced to throw a move because we've got so much health on the Venomoth. They're not going to be able to Shadow Claw us down, and the Poison Fangs really are going to add up, and even the confusions, even though they're resisted. So we're definitely going to let this go through now. And then we're going to swap to Charizard, and we can probably just wing attack down. The game actually didn't let me swap there. I don't know if you saw that, but I hit the switch button and I just stayed in with Venomoth for whatever reason. This is how buggy it's been, and you see the spinny wheel all the time. But we're just going to wing attack down and take an easy win there. And there's not been many of them in this video. I just wanted to showcase the sheer power of the team when we do get that alignment. So into the next one, the normal Kanto Sandslash on the lead. And obviously they're going to be resisting the Poison Fangs, but the confusions are just going to add up with the defense drop. You can see, even though that was resisted, it still did quite a lot of damage from the Venomoth. A Night Slash can be taken easily by the Venomoth. So now they're going to come in with their own Electrode, and we're going to go for the Poison Fang and lower their defense. And you can see it does a nice amount of damage, even though it is just a debuffing move. We're actually staying in here because neither of the other 2 Pokemon really want to see this, so we're just getting it down as low as possible so we can farm down. Probably going to come in with the Omastar just because we'll be doing super effective, and hopefully we can get them farmed down before we have to commit 2 shields to another discharge. So we do manage to mud shot them down, and now we've got Machamp in the back. So we're going to go straight for a Rock Slide because, as we've already seen, this does do a nice amount of damage, even though it is resisted. And now we make the swap into Charizard. They do still have that Sandslash in the back with a little bit of health and some energy, so we should be able to see this out. So we're going to go for a Dragon Claw after we correctly shield up that Rock Slide, and glad they didn't bait us there. They're definitely going to commit their last shield. Now they come in with the Sandslash, and we're just going to look to farm this down the whole way. And at this point I was pretty confident either move wouldn't take us out, but an Earthquake does so much damage to the Charizard. I think we was able to sneak through a wing attack, so we should have the Dragon Claw ready to go. We have it there, but obviously the game's freezing and bugging out everywhere, so we can't get it off, and the Machamp counters us down, and just to make things even worse, we just CMP tire at the Rock Slide. So we got completely screwed over once again by Niantic's shitty fucking servers. You guys are just a bunch of complete arse clowns, aren't you? Let's be honest. I kid you not, after I recorded these battles, I did another few sets with a similar team, and there was one set where I got lag every single game, the lag that everyone's getting, where it just freezes for ages, and I lost every battle because of it. There was not one time when I got some favourable advantage from the lag. This game is in such a bad state, and it's been over 2 years since its release, and they said that they were working on stability. Anyone that's defending Niantic at this point just loves to lick the boot. These guys have had so much money from us, like billions they've made out of this game, and they still cannot fix this aspect. And they're completely pushing PvP with every single Community Day move. So they clearly want it to work. What is going on? Surely it isn't that hard to just make it so that every single battle you don't freeze. Obviously it is. Anyway, rant over. Sorry about that, but if you played the game from the beginning, you know what's up, you know what's going on, and by this point it should be resolved, surely. It shouldn't just be regressing every time. Anyway, I probably missed the best battle of the video whilst I was chatting shit, but looks like we had a really terrible lead with the Pidgeot, but we managed to turn it around, and we got that Omastar lined up against the Marowak there, which completely devastated. And then we actually just swapped into Venomoth to close it out, even though we were getting destroyed by Gus. That Poison Fang and Confusion combination is just so deadly. So get out of there, Pidge. And into the next one, it's another Pidge. Hello, Pidge. So the Venomoth really does want to see the Pidge, so we swap out into Charizard, and we're met with an Alolan Muck. And we're going to go for that Dragon Claw bait, and they do give up their first shield, so that's really good. We're going to match shields here, expecting this will definitely be the Dark Pulse, which will probably be taking us out. So we're now going to count up to another 4 Snarls, go for another Dragon Claw bait, hoping that they throw up a shield now, but if they don't, that's fine. We'll then be able to wing attack them down. So that is what happens. They don't commit their second shield, but we're going to give up ours, because we're definitely going to get that back, more than likely, with the potential of a Blast Burn against the next Pokemon. So in comes an A9, so if they don't shield this up, it's definitely going to get one shot. Goodbye, A9! I don't know if they thought we were baiting, or they're keeping all the shields for the Pidgeot, but that's fine. We're now going to bring in the Venomoth, which is a bit of a questionable play. I think maybe we're just trying to get that last shield out of them. And luckily they do give it up. If they'd have farmed us down all the way and maybe got to 2 moves, then that could have been their only win con. But at this point, they're not going to be able to get up to 2. And a Brave Bird's not going to be enough to KO the Omastar, as we're resisting the flying type. Taking the win once again with the Omastar, beating down that back Pokemon throwing rocks at the Pidgeot's head and then pulling it down into the deep abyss. Like that one video of the octopus munching on a seagull. Tasty. So into the next battle we go. We've got a really good lead with the Nidoqueen. This is what we want to see. They swap into Hypno and we're really slow on the swap out, and we don't actually have a direct answer to the Hypno. The Charizard can beat it in the one shield scenario if we land that bait, but we're just going to go into the Omastar. It's just a bit of a better matchup, just so we can keep the Charizard out there in case they swap out. So they did commit a shield to our Rock Slide after we correctly shielded up a Shadow Ball. That tells me they must have 2 of the Nuke moves, so they actually go for Fire Punch now. Really interesting. So we're now going to build up to a potential Hydro Pump, expecting them to shield this up as well. So we just go for the Rock Slide, but they don't shield it up, and we're managing to get to another Rock Slide. So at least we're going to get the switch advantage or get a shield out of them, and we do get the switch. So now back in comes the Nidoqueen. We're definitely going to bring in the Venomoth. We go straight for a Poison Fang to do some chip damage and to get that defense lowered, so these confusions are going to chunk even more. They are staying in, and we swap out trying to catch a potential Earth Power, but they actually go for the Poison Fang, as I was a bit crap on my count in there, and now they come in with a Mew. Are we going to be able to get up to that Blast Burn before they get to the Surf or potential Wild Charge? And we do get to the Blast Burn, so they must have been over farming there, as surely they would have been at a move. They come back in with the Nidoqueen, but the Venomoth's just going to take the Nido out with one confusion, and that's a good game there. We did actually make it a bit harder for ourselves, I think, but we was able to pull it out into the next one. Terrible lead with the Hypno, so we go straight into Charizard, and they come in with the Lapras. So obviously we need to shield up a Surf, otherwise we're going to be getting taken out, but also a Blast Burn is going to be doing a lot of damage to them. So are they going to respect that? We go straight for the Dragon Claw, really hoping they shield this bait up, but they let it go through. Luckily we are over farming, and we can get to another Dragon Claw to at least threaten another shield from them. If they give up another shield, we're going to go straight for another Dragon Claw, but they let it go through, so we've won the swap. That's really good, and now we're going to go for that Blast Burn against the Hypno, expecting they're definitely going to shield this up. Surely they let it go through, so it does so much damage to the Hypno, gets them right down into the red, and now it's all going to depend on what they've got in the back there. We are choosing to use our last shield for the Omastar, as a Thunder Punch is going to do a lot of damage, and then we make a swap out into Venomoth, and I'm not sure why we did that. Maybe we were worried they were going to get to another Thunder Punch, but now we've sealed our fate. We've royally cocked up, because we had the potential to get to 3 moves with the Omastar, but not now. The Marowak's got an opportunity to build up some energy, and then we get really angry and rage quit the recording in true angry trainer style. So apologies if you want to see that one play out, but yeah, it went happening. So into the next one, we've got Electrode, and this is a pretty neutral lead, and we can just go straight for a Poison Fang and debuff them, and we should be able to confusion them down all the way after shielding up one of their moves. They let it go through, so that's quite a big call by them. We're definitely going to be able to confusion them down now, expecting they might swap out. So they do make a swap into the Marowak. We go straight into the Omastar, and we're going to be able to go for these Rock Slides, which are going to really threaten the Marowak, as we've already seen. So they do commit their first shield, and we did CMP tie, expecting this just to be a Bone Club, which will be super effective, and as we're quite squishy, that still does over half our health, or pretty much half our health exactly. Now we get a ton of lag. Oh, what a surprise. We were all so shocked by that. Let's see what happens. Do we get any benefit, or do we lose out? Looks like it was pretty much equal there. And he did about 2 or 3 more mud shots afterwards, so maybe they got ahead of us, and they let that one go through, so it does take out the Marowak, and we win that swap advantage. So let's see what they want to come in with now. They come in with the Hypno. We wanted to build up to a potential Hydro Pump, but that wasn't going to happen, so we're just going to get that Rock Slide off and not risk losing our energy. So it does about half health to the Hypno, as it's the Shadow form. Then we're going to come in with that Charizard, commit our shield to the potential Thunder Punch, and look to build up as much energy as we can. We try and catch, and they were wise to that, so they actually swapped into their Electrode, and we got off our energy, which I think is a mistake. I'm not sure we should have done this, because now the Hypno will be able to farm us down, I think, trying to confusion us down, and we actually simultaneously KO, and we take that win with the Charizard in the back. So we're actually able to confusion down the Hypno with the Venomoth. How about that? So into the next one, we've got Omastar in the lead. So how about that? I ain't seen this thing at all until I started using Omastar myself. And as you can see, the confusions have really chunked into the prehistoric piece of shit. So I don't know what this thing's supposed to be. It's like a fossil, isn't it? Of course. So stop being so disrespectful, Angry Trainer, you asshole. Anyway, so we go for another Poison Fang. We did undercharge there as we CMP tied, so then we can get some more farm out of them, and we've got 2 more confusions worth of energy. We have used both our shields though, so we're going to build up to that Bug Buzz. Really hoping the Lapras commits the shield here, because a Bug Buzz will do so much damage, and they do commit a shield. So now we're just going to build up to another one, but unfortunately they threw their energy, so they're going to be taking us out. And at this point, I was fucking screwing. That was a really silly over tap, and they completely wasted our second Poison Fang. But hopefully we can still make things work. Obviously the Lapras is going to get destroyed by a Rock Slide, as we've already seen. So we're going to build up as much as we can, counting up to 3 Ice Shards, and then we're going to just throw the Rock Slide to be safe. Seeing if they want to commit their last shield to the Lapras, but they let it go through. What have they got in the back? It's a Nidoqueen. So we're not going to get up to 2 moves. Well, we might have got up to 2 Rock Slides, but we're just going to go for the Hydro Pump, and then hope that we can get to a Blast Burn with the Charizard. We should be able to. It's definitely going to take 2 Poison Fangs to take out the Charizard. Maybe they should have actually gone for the Earth Power. It might have done enough damage because Shadow Charizard is so squishy in the Great League. But we go for that Blast Burn and we take out the Nido. Thank you for playing, but your number's up. And yeah, we managed to pull it out of the bag after a bit of a sticky start where we used both our shields, and it worked out really well for us in the end. So into the next one, pretty bad lead with the Alolan Muck for the Venomoth there as they're resisting Confusion. It was the Poison Jab version, so it wasn't actually terrible, but we did still swap out. And they came in with Poliwrath against the Charizard, which is really not a counter. Obviously a Scald will be taking us out, but they let that Dragon Claw go through, and now we're easily going to be able to wing attack them down. And we won swap, and we've got energy loaded to go on the Charizard, so let's see what they want to bring in now. Expecting actually the Muck to come back in, which it is. So we go for the Dragon Claw bait, and expecting they're going to shield this up because a Blast Burn will be taking them out. And now they're throwing energy here, and that was quite quick, so expecting this just to be an Acid Spray, which we should survive. And can we get up to the Blast Burn? We do. So do they want to commit the 2 shields here, or does the Muck want to go down? Boom! Goodbye, Muck. Get out of here. They know that they've royally cocked up, and they back out because we still had that Venomoth in the back, and they had the Machamp. So they didn't really have an answer to the Charizard swap there at all because they had 2 fighters and probably should have just stayed in with the Muck. So into the last battle of the video, we had another Pidgeot lead. So once again, we made a swap out into the Charizard and we were met with a Nidoqueen. We let the Poison Fang go through and it takes us so low. We go for a Blast Burn. There's a ton of lag. Expecting them to shield this up and they let it go through. So bosh, goodbye Nido. In comes the Pidgeot. I'm not sure if they let that go through because of lag or because they thought we were trying to bait. But obviously we weren't going to bait because we weren't going to make it to 2 moves. And now we have the alignment. We've got that Omastar against Pidgeot. And obviously a Rock Slide is going to take this thing out as we've seen before. Expecting them to go for a Feather Dance here. But we're still going to shield this up because we don't want to get too low with the Omastar. The Gusts are still chunking even though we're resisting them. And we cannot see the Pidgeot with the Venomoth. So we go for another Rock Slide and they do shield it up again. So we're just going to have to match shields here. And more than likely their Rock Slide isn't going to take them out. They actually go for a Brave Bird. So expecting them to swap. We make the instant swap as well. They come in with that Lapras. And I'm surprised we're not just building up to the Bug Buzz because that will take them out. I guess I'm worried about a Surf taking us out. So I just want to get off some damage to the Lapras, and it actually causes them to overfarm because they know they need to take out the Omastar as well. So we get to a second Poison Fang and we take out the bulky Lapras. Now we've got that Pidgeot in the back. They get 3 Gusts in, but I think we're 1 away from the Rock Slide, so we're able to come in with the Omastar. And once again, we're going to pelt the bird with a load of stones and say goodbye to you. And that's the last one. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed all the way, I really appreciate it. Just taking a look at some shinies that I caught over the weekend. Got the worst possible Landorus that you could catch, 10-10-10, so that was absolutely crap. But we did get a Kangaskhan finally after like 11 raids. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Until the next one, you stay angry, trainers.